Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being genuinely well-informed, where we unpack compelling stories and extract the knowledge nuggets that truly matter. Today, we're diving into the heart of, well, an American icon, a machine that just embodies raw power, relentless innovation, and a design philosophy that seems to consistently push boundaries. This isn't just a car, it's really a living legend. For this deep dive, we're setting our sights squarely on the Chevrolet Corvette. Our source material today is a pretty comprehensive look into the enduring legend of the Chevrolet Corvette, really tracing its fascinating evolution and, frankly, its profound impact. Our mission, pure and simple, is to journey with this incredible vehicle from its humble, almost stylish beginnings all the way to its current status as, well, a world-class supercar. We're going to try and uncover the core philosophies and, the sheer ambition that have driven its constant reinvention across more than 7 decades now. So get ready to explore how this automotive marvel became so deeply woven into the fabric of American history. It's a symbol not just of high performance and that unmistakable style, but also of engineering innovation that just refused to settle. We'll peel back the layers to understand what makes the Corvette tick and why it remains so relevant today.
And what's truly fascinating here, as we prepare to dive in, is how one singular vehicle can so clearly embody a legacy of constant reinvention. It's quite remarkable. We'll explore how it didn't just adapt, but continuously push the boundaries of what a sports car could even be, revealing some surprising facts, maybe some internal struggles, and key insights into its, 7-decade evolution. It's a story of engineering prowess, yes, but also a persistent, almost obsessive pursuit of an ideal performance for the people, really.
Okay, let's unpack this incredible journey then, right from its very genesis. We often picture the modern Corvette as this fire-breathing, track-focused beast, a top-tier performer capable of challenging the world's best. But where in the annals of automotive history did this legendary story truly kick off? It wasn't always the asphalt shredder we know today, was it?
No, you're absolutely right. And it's critical to understand its origin story because it stands in such stark contrast to its modern high-performance persona, which, makes its evolution all the more remarkable when you think about it. The Corvette actually started its life back in 1953. And it wasn't a track monster or even really primarily a performance car. It was designed as a stylish, elegant, two-seater convertible.
More like a cruiser.
Exactly. Imagine it more as a sophisticated cruiser, a car designed for, boulevard cruising and making a statement rather than breaking lap records. Its initial years were genuinely defined by this elegant, clean design and a smooth, frankly rather unassuming ride. It was powered by a modest 150 horsepower inline-six engine, paired with a two-speed automatic transmission.
A two-speed auto. Wow.
Right, yeah. So this raises an important question, doesn't it? How did a car with such modest beginnings, basically a stylish touring car focused on looks and, the joy of a leisurely drive, how did that evolve into such an icon of raw performance and engineering might? Its early design philosophy was absolutely about aesthetics and capturing that post-war American dream of open-road cruising. It was a beautiful statement, sure, but far from a performance juggernaut.
That's quite a transformation from its initial vision. So it began as this beautiful, smooth cruiser, something really elegant, but then it seems came a truly pivotal, game-changing moment that completely rerouted its trajectory. Here's where it gets really interesting, because this isn't just an upgrade, it sounds like an awakening almost.
Precisely. That's a great way to put it. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the introduction of the small block V8 engine in 1955 was arguably the single most critical turning point in the Corvette's entire history, a moment of profound redefinition. This wasn't merely an engine upgrade, it was, as you said, a philosophical shift. It fundamentally transformed the car's identity from just a stylish roadster into a genuine American sports car contender.
And it almost didn't happen, right? Weren't sales a bit shaky?
Very shaky. Before 1955, Chevrolet was actually seriously considering axing the Corvette. Sales were lukewarm, and it lacked a clear purpose in the market. The arrival of this powerful, compact V8 initially displacing 265 cubic inches, producing 195 horsepower, truly ignited its performance pedigree.
That's a decent jump in power.
Oh, yeah. It gave the Corvette the power it desperately needed to start carving out its niche as a serious, compelling sports car. This engine laid the foundational groundwork for a legacy of powerful V8 engines that would not only define the Corvette for the next 7 decades, but also pretty much set the standard for what an American sports car could be. It dramatically shifted the car from being simply stylish to being synonymous with raw power, exhilarating speed, and a distinctive American character. This decision, frankly, saved the Corvette and set it on an entirely new path.
That's an incredible origin story for the V8's role. So from that moment of ignition with the small block V8, the evolution of the Corvette truly accelerated. It sounds like a rapid ascent. What were some of the key design and engineering statements in those early generations that followed, particularly with the C2 and the C3, that really cemented its place in the performance world?
The momentum from the V8 was pretty much unstoppable. With each new generation, the Corvette systematically shed its early simplicity. It moved towards more aggressive, purpose-driven designs and increasingly sophisticated engineering. Take the C2 Stingray, for example, which debuted in '63.
Ah, the Stingray.
Iconic. Doubly iconic. This generation was a radical departure visually. It introduced that truly legendary split-window design in its first year, a feature that's still, highly sought after by collectors today. But beyond the aesthetics, the C2 brought significant engineering advancements. Most notably, it introduced an independent rear suspension.
Right, so each wheel could move on its own.
Exactly, meaning each rear wheel could move independently over bumps. This was a massive leap forward from the traditional solid rear axle. It drastically improved handling, ride quality, and traction. And it's solidified its place as a truly serious performance machine, capable of competing head-to-head with European rivals like, say, Porsche and Jaguar.
And that wasn't an easy internal sell, was it?
No, it was a hard-fought battle by engineers like Zora Arkus Duntov, often called the father of the Corvette. He relentlessly pushed for this kind of sophistication. Then, just a few years later, came the C3 generation, introduced in '68.
The Mako Shark influence, right?
That's the one. The C3 continued the aggressive styling trend of the C2, but took it to a new level with its muscular, flowing, Mako Shark-inspired body style. This aerodynamic, curvaceous form, often characterized by its pronounced fender flares and that Coke bottle waistline, it really came to define the look and feel of high-performance cars throughout the '70s and early '80s. The C3 emphasized a bolder, more overtly powerful aesthetic, which matched the big block V8s that became available during this era, some producing well over 400 horsepower.
Serious muscle.
Oh yeah, you can clearly see a deliberate progression here. From initial style, through the C2's blend of style and engineering prowess, to the C3's unapologetic statement of serious performance and a strong, distinctly American aesthetic. Each iteration built upon the last, cementing the Corvette's reputation as the American sports car.
So after these defining eras, the groundbreaking C2 and the iconic C3, which really set the stage, what did the subsequent generations, the C4, C5, and C6, bring to the table? It sounds like this period wasn't about radical reinvention, but more a relentless, almost surgical pursuit of performance and innovation within that established front-engine formula.
That's precisely the right way to characterize it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The C4, C5, and C6 generations represent a period of intense and continuous improvements, a meticulous refining of the existing front-engine rear-wheel drive formula rather than, a single radical redesign like the C2's introduction. The C4, launched in '84 after a brief hiatus, was a complete redesign from the ground up, known for its ultra-modern, kind of angular styling and that revolutionary digital dash.
The very 80s, the digital dash.
Totally. But it was stiffer, more aerodynamic, featured an all-new chassis. It brought the Corvette firmly into the modern era of automotive design and engineering. It introduced advanced aluminum suspension components, too, further enhancing its handling. Following that, the C5, arriving in '97, was another monumental leap. It utilized a hydroformed steel frame, incredibly rigid, which allowed for much more precise suspension tuning.
And that's where the transmission moved back.
Exactly. A key innovation was the transaxle layout. The transmission moved to the rear, integrating with the differential. This dramatically improved weight distribution, pushing it closer to that ideal 50-50 split, crucial for balanced handling. The C5 also introduced fixed headlights, moving away from the pop-up units that had been a Corvette staple for decades.
Controversial at the time, maybe?
A little, yeah. But this generation was widely praised for its incredible balance and daily drivability. It cemented its position as a world-class sports car that was also, surprisingly comfortable. Then came the C6 in 2005, which was really an evolution of the C5's excellent architecture. It retained the hydroformed frame and transaxle, but featured more refined styling, including a return to exposed headlights, maybe addressing some of that C5 feedback.
And more power, presumably.
Oh, significantly more. It saw huge advancements in engine technology. You got the LS2, the LS3, and later the monstrous LS7 and supercharged LS9 engines in the Z06 and ZR1 variants, respectively.
Right. The Z06 and ZR1 really pushed into supercar territory.
Absolutely. Those engines propelled the Corvette into true supercar territory in terms of raw power and track performance. So throughout these generations, C4, C5, C6, each iteration delivered more horsepower, more torque, significantly refined handling through ongoing suspension development and chassis tuning, and integrated new technologies, engine management, and interior features, the works. It was a constant process of perfecting what worked, making the Corvette faster, more capable, and ever more formidable.
It truly sounds like a masterclass in incremental engineering, a steady upward climb, relentlessly perfecting that classic front-engine rear-wheel drive formula for decades. But as you mentioned, even perfection has its limits, right? What forces were at play, what engineering ambitions were building up that necessitated something truly radical, something that would, well, stun the automotive world.
Indeed, yeah, that's the crux of the narrative leading up to the C8. While the C4, C5, and C6 generations were undeniably successful, pushing the Corvette to incredible heights of performance, that underlying front-engine, rear-wheel drive architecture, while classic and deeply loved by many, did have inherent fundamental limitations. These limitations became increasingly pronounced when trying to maximize handling, dynamic balance, and overall performance, especially when you compared it to the global supercar standards emerging from Europe.
Where mid-engine was becoming the norm for top-tier performance.
Exactly. European exotics had long adopted mid-engine layouts, which offer superior balance and cornering capabilities just by centralizing the mass of the car. Chevrolet's engineers were continually pushing the absolute limits of their traditional front-engine layout. They were trying to extract every last bit of grip, achieve more balanced handling, improve cornering characteristics. However, they were increasingly running into the physical constraints of having that heavy engine positioned way up front over the front axle.
Yeah, you can only do so much with suspension tuning at that point.
Precisely. This created a palpable tension. The continuous improvements were pushing the boundaries of what was physically possible with that traditional layout. The ambition of the engineers, their desire for true world-class supercar dynamics, really started to outgrow the existing platform. They recognized that to truly take the Corvette to the next level, to allow it to compete on an equal footing with the absolute best in the world, a new foundation was required.
A fundamental shift.
A fundamental shift. It was less about incremental gains and more about a complete reimagining of the car's core architecture. This wasn't a choice made lightly, you understand. It was a strategic decision born out of years and years of pushing the boundaries of the front-engine design and realizing they'd hit a ceiling.
And then, after all that incremental perfection, the automotive world collectively gasped. I distinctly remember the buzz, the speculation, and then the sheer shock when the C8 was finally revealed. What was this dramatic leap that finally broke from 7 decades of tradition, and why was it so incredibly shocking, so unexpected, for longtime enthusiasts and the industry alike?
Well, the most dramatic leap, a true seismic shift that echoed throughout the entire automotive industry, absolutely came with the 8th generation, the C8. In a move that utterly shocked the automotive world and profoundly surprised even the most dedicated lifelong Corvette enthusiasts, the C8 completely abandoned the long-standing front-engine tradition and shifted to a mid-engine layout.
Just boom, engine behind the driver.
Just like that. This was a radical departure, not just from the C7, but from 7 full decades of Corvette history. For so many people, the front-engine design was the Corvette, a powerful V8 up front driving the rear wheels, that classic American muscle car meets sports car formula. What's fascinating here is how deeply ingrained that front-engine design was in the Corvette's very identity. It wasn't just an engineering spec, it was a cultural touchstone.
Right, it was part of its soul, almost.
It's exactly. Making this change wasn't solely an engineering decision just to improve performance numbers. It was also a profound cultural one for enthusiasts. There were definitely purists who questioned whether it could still truly be called a Corvette without its traditional layout. The shock factor stemmed from the sheer audacity of breaking such a long and incredibly successful tradition. It proved that even an American legend, a pillar of automotive history, could completely reinvent itself.
A huge gamble, really.
A massive gamble. It was a clear statement that Chevrolet was prioritizing ultimate performance and challenging the global supercar hierarchy above absolutely everything else, even if it meant disrupting its own core identity. It signaled a completely new era, and the reaction, both the excitement and the apprehension, was absolutely palpable.
That's a powerful point about the cultural impact. But as you alluded to, this wasn't just for aesthetics or to simply provoke a reaction, right? There had to be a profound, almost revolutionary engineering reason for such a monumental shift. So what does this all mean for the car, for its performance, and fundamentally for the driving experience? What truly changed under the skin?
Exactly. You've hit on the core of it.
Hmm.
This radical change was absolutely not just for aesthetics, although, let's face it, the C8 is certainly a visually stunning, exotically styled
Oh
car.
yeah, it looks the part.
It really does. But it fundamentally altered the car's dynamics in ways that were previously impossible with the front engine layout. The primary engineering advantage is vastly better weight distribution. By placing the engine, the heaviest single component behind the driver and ahead of the rear axle, it becomes centered within the car's wheelbase.
Putting the weight where you want it.
Precisely. Think of it. The mass is now exactly where it can have the most beneficial effect on handling and balance, much closer to the car's center of gravity. This, in turn, leads to dramatically superior handling characteristics. When you're driving, this translates to reduced inertia during direction changes, much less body roll in corners, and a more neutral, balanced feel.
So it turns in quicker, feels more agile.
Incredibly agile. It's not just about going faster in a straight line, though it certainly achieves blistering acceleration. It's about how the car behaves in corners, how it balances under hard braking and acceleration, and how incredibly responsive and precise it is to the driver's inputs. The front wheels are essentially freed up to focus purely on steering, while the weight over the rear wheels provides incredible traction both off the line and powering out of corners. It transforms the vehicle into what is unequivocally a true supercar experience, offering a level of precision, agility, and overall dynamic composure that was simply unattainable with the previous front-engine architecture. It makes the car feel incredibly planted and predictable, allowing drivers to explore its limits with far greater confidence.
So a true supercar experience, a genuine rival to the most exotic machines on the planet, but, and this is the kicker, without the typical supercar price tag. That sounds like an incredibly powerful, almost paradoxical, and certainly appealing combination that fundamentally democratizes high performance.
Precisely. This is arguably the Corvette's most enduring and unique value proposition, and the C8 takes it to a whole new level. This mid-engine transformation delivers a genuine supercar experience with all the performance, dynamic capabilities, and head-turning presence you'd expect from the world's best, but at a mere fraction of the cost of its exotic rivals.
Like what kind of fraction are we talking?
We're talking about cars that often cost 2, 3, or even 4 times as much to deliver similar, or sometimes even lesser, levels of performance. It's an almost unbelievable value proposition in the automotive world. This move truly elevates the Corvette to a new echelon of performance, while crucially maintaining its core philosophy of attainability, its everyman supercar identity.
How do they even do that? Offer that level of performance at that price?
Well, this raises an important question. How does Chevrolet manage to offer such incredible performance value when others seemingly can't? It's a masterclass in engineering efficiency, strategic positioning, and frankly, leveraging the massive economies of scale that a giant like General Motors possesses. They can amortize the immense research and development costs over a much larger production volume than, say, Ferrari or Lamborghini. They could utilize shared components where appropriate, though the C8 is largely bespoke. And they control the entire supply chain much more effectively. They made a very deliberate decision not to price it as an exotic, but to disrupt that segment by making world-class performance genuinely accessible to a much broader audience than traditional supercars ever could.
So it's a strategic weapon, almost.
You could say that. It fundamentally democratizes the supercar experience, challenging the notion that exclusivity must always equate to an exorbitant price tag.
That explanation of the everyman supercar philosophy really clarifies its unique position. Okay, now let's talk about the heart of this beast. When you've got a mid-engine layout promising supercar dynamics, what kind of power plant is fueling this modern marvel? What's powering the C8 Corvette, and how does it uphold the legacy of American V8 muscle?
Right, the engine. At its core, the Corvette has always been about raw, exhilarating performance, and the C8 certainly delivers on that promise, even with its revolutionary new layout. It's powered by a naturally aspirated 6.2-liter V8 engine, known internally as the LT2.
Still naturally aspirated, no turbos.
Still naturally aspirated, yes. And this choice reflects a continued, very deliberate commitment to traditional American V8 power. In an era where many performance cars are turning to smaller, turbocharged engines, the Corvette sticks to its roots. The naturally aspirated design delivers that visceral, rumbling sound, an incredibly instant, linear throttle response that enthusiasts absolutely adore. All packaged within a thoroughly modern, lightweight, and efficient design, mind you. It's a testament to the enduring appeal and sheer effectiveness of a well-engineered, large displacement, naturally aspirated V8. It's a key part of what gives the Corvette its distinctive character and, let's be honest, its amazing sound.
And what kind of power are we talking about here from that LT2 V8? How does that formidable output actually translate to blistering speed and acceleration on the road, or more importantly, maybe on the track? Let's get some numbers.
Okay, numbers. This LT2 engine produces a formidable 490 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque in its standard form. Now, if you opt for the Z51 performance package, which includes a performance exhaust system, those figures bump up slightly to 495 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque.
Nearly 500 horsepower, naturally aspirated. Impressive.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
And these aren't just big numbers in a vacuum. They translate directly into truly incredible, jaw-dropping acceleration, especially with the newfound traction and balance of the mid-engine layout. The base Stingray model, equipped with that Z51 package, can launch from 0 to 60 mph in a blistering 2.9 seconds.
Wow, under 3 seconds.
Under 3 seconds. Let that sink in for a moment. This isn't just fast. This is a time that puts many European exotics cars from legendary brands costing significantly more, sometimes 2 or 3 times as much, squarely to shame. This is precisely where you really start to see the supercar part of its identity shine through. It's not just about the numbers on a page, but the visceral seat-of-your-pants thrill of that instantaneous, relentless acceleration, coupled with the distinctive roar of that American V8. That truly defines the C8 experience.
So the numbers are undeniably impressive, putting it in truly elite company. And yeah, that naturally aspirated V8 sound must be incredible. But how does this new mid-engine layout, combined with all that power and torque, truly change the feel of driving the C8? Beyond just the raw straight-line speed, what's the qualitative difference in handling?
Right, the feel. The new mid-engine design fundamentally transforms the driving experience in a way that mere numbers or even horsepower figures can't fully convey. With the engine now acting as that perfectly positioned counterweight to the driver, nestled snugly between the axles, the C8's handling is incredibly balanced and precise. This means the car feels remarkably neutral. Less of the understeer where the front wheels push wide or oversteer where the rear end slides out, often associated with less balanced layouts, especially front-engine ones pushed hard.
So it just feels more connected.
Exactly. You feel an almost telepathic connection to the road. What this means in practice is that the car responds to your steering inputs with remarkable immediacy, accuracy, and confidence. It corners with an almost, telepathic feel, allowing the driver to confidently push its limits, whether on a tightly winding back road or a dedicated racetrack. This improved balance minimizes body roll dramatically and enhances responsiveness, making the car feel like a direct extension of your intentions, rather than just a machine you're pointing.
Like it knows what you want to do before you do it.
Almost. It's a deeply engaging, confidence-inspiring, and ultimately thrilling drive, reminiscent of purebred racing machines, honestly.
That sounds like a dream for any driver, that telepathic connection. And for those serious enthusiasts, the ones who truly want to exploit these dynamics, perhaps even take it to the track and extract every ounce of performance. What does the C8 offer in terms of factory-backed enhancements?
Yes, for the track rats. For serious enthusiasts and track day warriors, the optional Z51 performance package further enhances this already formidable machine, truly transforming the C8 into a genuinely track-ready weapon right out of the box. This package isn't just a collection of minor tweaks. It's a carefully curated suite of performance upgrades designed specifically for extreme driving conditions. It includes a more aggressive performance suspension with manually adjustable threaded spring seats. This allows for precise ride height and corner weight adjustments, serious stuff.
Proper track tuning.
Proper track tuning, exactly. You also get larger, more powerful Brembo brakes for improved fade-resistant stopping power under repeated heavy use on track. Absolutely crucial.
And, critically, it adds an electronic limited slip differential, or ELSD. This is a sophisticated system that precisely manages and distributes power to each of the rear wheels, maximizing traction and stability, especially when accelerating hard out of a corner or driving aggressively.
So it helps put the power down effectively.
Massively. These additions significantly optimize the car for extreme conditions, providing even flatter cornering, better control, and consistent deceleration lap after lap. It really demonstrates Chevrolet's deep commitment to not just street performance, but also genuine competitive capability on a circuit. It allows owners to genuinely participate in track events without needing extensive aftermarket modifications. Performance is one thing, and it sounds like the C8 delivers an exhilarating experience on the road and track. Check. But how about the experience from inside the car? The Corvette's interior has quite a journey too, right? From its early, let's be honest, sometimes criticized days, has it finally caught up with its performance aspirations?
Indeed, it absolutely has. That's a really important point. The Corvette's interior has truly come a monumental way from its relatively Spartan and at times, yeah, plasticky beginnings back in the mid-20th century. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the C8's cockpit is a modern, thoroughly driver-focused space that seamlessly blends genuine luxury with high-tech functionality.
Like a fighter jet cockpit, I've heard people say.
That's a common comparison. And it fits. It's not just a place to sit. It's explicitly designed to immerse the driver, making them feel like an integral part of the machine rather than simply containing them. Every element is carefully considered to enhance the driving experience, prioritizing the driver above all else. This attention to interior quality and design is a clear sign that Chevrolet is aiming for a holistic supercar experience, not just, raw power and handling.
What specifically makes it feel so distinctly modern and luxurious compared to its predecessors? What elements contribute to that undeniably premium feel and focus on the driver?
Well, the interior design itself is incredibly sleek and very ergonomic, with a pronounced bias toward the driver. Everything sort of wraps around you. One of the standout features is the low-slung dashboard, which isn't just aesthetically pleasing, it significantly improves forward visibility, gives the driver an unobstructed, expansive view of the road ahead, really crucial for high-performance driving.
And that squared-off steering wheel.
Yeah, the steering wheel, that distinctive squared-off design, is both sporty and practical, feels great in your hands. And critically, the materials are a dramatic step up from previous generations. You'll find generous applications of high-quality leather, refined microsuede accents, and real metal trim throughout the cabin. Not just plastic painted to look like metal.
Ah, good. That makes a difference.
Huge difference. These elements, combined with meticulous stitching and really tight fit and finish, give it a distinctly premium, even bespoke, feel that truly rivals much more expensive European sports cars. This meticulous attention to detail in the cabin is absolutely crucial for matching the exterior supercar aspirations and ensuring a holistic, high-end experience that satisfies even the most discerning buyer.
That sounds like a significant leap in perceived quality and design. And what kind of cutting-edge technology can you expect to find integrated into this modern driver-focused cockpit? Beyond the premium materials, how does it actively enhance the driving experience, both for convenience and performance?
Technology is truly front and center in the C8's cockpit, and it's designed to provide information and control precisely when and where the driver needs it, minimizing distraction. Right in front of the driver, you get a large 12-inch fully configurable digital gauge cluster.
Fully digital. Nice.
Yeah, fully digital. This allows you to customize the display to show pretty much everything: speed, RPM, G-forces, tire pressures, lap times. You can tailor the information to your exact preferences for street or track. Adjacent to that, angled subtly towards the driver, you have a high-resolution 8-inch infotainment touchscreen. This system is seamlessly integrated into the dashboard, controlling navigation, the premium audio options, smartphone integration like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and various vehicle settings.
Pretty standard stuff now, but essential.
Essential, yeah. But this isn't just about flashy screens. It's about efficient, intuitive information delivery and control, keeping the driver informed without having to take their eyes far from the road. The entire setup is incredibly user-friendly and modern.
Those are impressive core tech features. But what about some of the more advanced, perhaps even performance-oriented features that truly enhance the driving experience, especially for those who enjoy pushing the car's limits on a track or a spirited drive?
Ah, right. Beyond the core displays, the C8 is also equipped with several advanced features that really elevate the driving experience to, well, truly professional levels in some cases. One notable inclusion is a head-up display, or HUD.
Projects onto the windshield.
Exactly. It projects key information like speed, RPM, navigation instructions, and even green meter readings directly onto the windshield in your line of sight. Allows you to keep your eyes firmly on the road and focus on the driving line. Very useful. And for the enthusiasts who regularly enjoy track driving, there's a sophisticated performance data recorder, or PDR.
Like a built-in telemetry system.
Pretty much. This system can capture high-definition video of your driving, record in-cabin audio, and simultaneously log a vast array of telemetry data. Things like speed, RPM, air selection, braking force, steering angle, lap times. Tons of data. This allows drivers to analyze their track performance down to the smallest detail, identify areas for improvement, or just, relive their best laps with data overlays.
Very cool for track days.
Very cool. And critically, It also boasts multiple drive modes, which are fully customizable. These modes including Tour, Sport, Track, and a customizable My Mode and Z Mode, which is like a shortcut button on the wheel for your favorite aggressive settings, drastically alter the car's character. They adjust everything. Throttle response, transmission shift points, steering feel, suspension stiffness if you have the optional magnetic ride control, and even the exhaust sound.
So you can really dial it in.
Totally. You can go from a comfortable, quiet tour mode for daily commuting to an aggressive track session mode that sharpens every single input and maximizes performance. This unparalleled level of customization allows the driver to truly tailor the car to their preferences and current driving environment, maximizing both comfort and ultimate performance. It's truly a car for all occasions, adapting to your desires with just the press of a button or turn of a knob.
We've now thoroughly discussed its incredible performance, its dramatically improved and luxurious interior, and its cutting-edge technology, all of which firmly planted in supercar territory. But there's a truly remarkable paradox to the Corvette, isn't there? Something that makes it utterly unique in the global automotive world, and arguably one of its most enduring appeals.
This is truly where it gets really interesting, yeah. And it's a defining characteristic of the Corvette that sets it apart from almost every other performance car out there. The Chevrolet Corvette has always embodied this fascinating paradox. It's a high-performance sports car that consistently delivers world-class capabilities, capable of outperforming vehicles costing hundreds of thousands more. Yet it remains surprisingly attainable for a much broader segment of the population.
It really does punch above its weight, price-wise.
Massively. It fundamentally challenges the deeply ingrained notion that true supercar performance must inherently come with an astronomical, often unattainable, price tag. It's a disruption to the luxury performance market, proving that exclusivity and mind-blowing performance don't have to be tied to an exorbitant cost. This philosophy is deeply ingrained in its DNA, right from its inception, really.
So it's more than just a car that performs well for its price point. It's almost a guiding philosophy, an everyman supercar ethos that informs its very existence in the market. How does that philosophy manifest, and why is it so significant?
Absolutely, it's a philosophy.
Yeah.
A deliberate strategic choice by Chevrolet. Its price point, especially when directly compared to rivals with similar performance figures, cars that often cost, like we said, 2 or 3 times as much, is a clear testament to this everyman supercar philosophy. It delivers the unadulterated thrill and dynamic prowess of an exotic complete with its mid-engine layout, blistering acceleration, and luxurious tech-filled cockpit, but without that prohibitively exotic price tag.
And you mentioned the economies of scale helping there.
Exactly. Chevrolet achieves this by leveraging its massive scale as part of General Motors. They can amortize the immense R&D costs over a much larger production volume, utilize extensively proven in-house V8 engine technology that's refined over generations, and control their entire supply chain very efficiently. This strategic positioning makes high-level, cutting-edge performance genuinely accessible to a broader audience. It effectively democratizes the supercar experience in a way that few other manufacturers even attempt, let alone achieve.
Why is that democratization so important, do you think?
Well, this raises an important question. Why is this democratization of performance so significant? Not just in the automotive world, but perhaps as a broader economic and philosophical statement. It suggests that excellence doesn't always have to be exclusive, that thrilling, world-class engineering can be brought to a wider audience, breaking down traditional barriers of entry for high-performance motoring. It represents, in a way, an American ideal of making the best available to many, not just the privileged few.
That's a powerful and unique stance in the automotive landscape. So, given all this, its groundbreaking evolution, its raw, exhilarating power, its now refined and tech-laden interior, and its truly unique value proposition about it, what does this all mean for the Corvette's future? What's its lasting appeal, and how will it continue to shape the performance car world?
Well, whether you're a longtime enthusiast who has followed its incredible journey for decades, celebrating each new generation, or maybe a first-time buyer just discovering the thrill of high-performance driving, the Corvette continues to offer an unrivaled combination of performance, cutting-edge technology, and sheer driving excitement. It is, without a doubt, a true American legend that, with its latest revolutionary mid-engine evolution, is not just surviving, but is truly set to dominate the performance car world for years to come.
So it's not just keeping up, it's leading.
Absolutely. This evolution isn't merely about adapting to stay relevant or playing catch-up. It's about continued leadership, pushing boundaries, and cementing its position at the forefront of automotive innovation. Its enduring appeal lies in its unwavering commitment to delivering an extraordinary driving experience wrapped in an iconic design at a price point that continuously defies expectations. It proves that constant reinvention, coupled with a clear vision, can lead to enduring success and profound influence.
What an incredible journey we've taken through the history of the Corvette. It's really something. We've seen how it transformed from, a stylish roadster, found its voice with that crucial small block V8, refined its performance through generations of incremental improvement, and then completely shocked the world with its revolutionary mid-engine C8. It's a testament to the relentless pursuit of excellence and its truly unique position as the everyman supercar.
It really is, and this raises an important question, I think, for all of us listening. In a world where luxury often dictates accessibility and cutting-edge performance is frequently reserved for the elite, the Corvette stands as a powerful testament to the idea that exhilarating, world-class performance can, and perhaps should, be within reach for more people. So, as you reflect on the Corvette's enduring legend, maybe consider what other industries or products might benefit from adopting a similar everyman philosophy, challenging the status quo to make excellence, innovation, or even traditionally exclusive experiences more broadly attainable for everyone. What could be democratized next in our life if we truly commit to innovation and value? Makes you think, doesn't it?